when I think about like, when am I at my highest self? When am I in my full power? It really is when I'm focusing my energy on the things that I love to do. Like being here today. I love to be sharing. I love to be talking. It gives me energy. So these are going to be things that I make time for.
Hey, you guys, and welcome back to The Psychic Within. On the show, we talk to successful entrepreneurs and successful business people who have used their psychic abilities. I call them psychic abilities. Some people call them intuition, in order to grow their business or to change their life or to really up-level what their vision is for their future. And today I have Russ Perry with me. He is the owner or founder.
All of the above. Okay. CEO, founder.
Okay, cool. Of Design Pickle, an incredibly successful organization. I'm going to let you describe who you are, what you do, and
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. First and foremost, we'll probably get into it, but Design Pickle really was founded based off of my own internal work and getting clear and what I wanted and listening to that voice, whatever it might be. Today, we are the world's largest subscription graphic services company, creative services company. So we provide fractional creatives to, tens of thousands of businesses worldwide. And what we do that's a little bit different than just hiring them yourself is we have an entire software experience to manage the creative process. So teams can use Design Pickle. Everything is in one place, from making the request, managing feedback, approval, files, as well as the ability to connect that tool to other apps. So once things are done, send them to your file management, send them to your team, save them so everyone can find whatever it is you need. And it's our 10th year in business. It's been quite a journey since then. Lots of failed things before that, but ultimately here to help people just create more and create every day and be more expressive in a way that has less friction.
That's awesome. So for my own curiosity, you sign up and I would sign up, I'd be a member. And then anytime I need stuff, I would send it over and you guys create it. That's Correct. Basically the premise of it.
Yeah, it's a SaaS model. I mean, 10 years ago, I was listening to a podcast about this crazy thing called recurring revenue. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what is this? Because I had an agency and it was always like, okay, this project and this invoice and this bill, and maybe I get paid, maybe I don't. And so I thought, well, what if I did subscription creative services and started with just me and a couple contractors. And today we have, I think, over 700 people worldwide between our creative contractor network and our employees that dedicate themselves. So you do get to work with a dedicated creative team to do video, editing, motion graphics, design, presentations. And globally, our creatives are committed to us. So they're working for our clients pretty much full time to give that dedicated, personalized experience.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you are the founder of it. It was your idea.
Yep.
Okay. So I understand that it came a little bit from like recurring revenue. Like how amazing is life when you have recurring revenue? But this is a psychic show. So on here, we talk about all things like energetic and psychic. And I truly believe that everybody is psychic, that everybody has the ability, whether you call it intuition or psychic abilities. So I'd love to hear a little bit. You can't possibly build a business from the ground up, be as successful as it is, and not use some kind of like internal guidance, visualization, manifestation. So I'd love to know a little bit about what you do.
Yeah. So, well, I can go back to 2013 and it was a really hard time in my life. I called it the summer of the cancellations because I had an agency. We had big clients. We were kind of a general purpose marketing and creative agency. And really, if I'm being honest, whatever, if you had money, I would do whatever. You're like, you need an app? Cool. You need HubSpot? Cool. We could do design.
So you're
brand.
really creative.
Yeah. Or just great at sales. And unfortunately, we lost $1 million of revenue in like 2 weeks. One for different reasons, different clients canceled, someone changed teams, and it was just like horrific. And I just was like, waking up completely unhappy, just like, what am I going to do with my life? This agency model's not working. It's so out of my hands. I feel like I don't have control. And mind you, maybe 7 months before that, I had made the decision to get sober. So most of my adult life, I had drank and had a lot of ups and downs with my relationship with alcohol. So, I think the first thing for me was like clearing energetically that from my life so that I could finally have some space to be introspective. I wasn't distracting myself. I wasn't sedating with alcohol. And so then when the mega cancellations came in, I was like, look, instead of going to drink, which would be my normal habit, how about I like look inward and I kind of get clear on what I want to do? And so actually through one phone call with a coach, who basically asked me this like incredibly challenging question, what do you want?
Yeah.
And I was like,
do you know how many people don't know?
Yeah,
that is
like,
an answer so often. Yeah.
Yeah. And so working through that question, I spent a weekend, not anywhere extravagant. It was actually at the Scottsdale Quarter at Press Coffee, but I was there a lot. And I answered that question, but here was what I did differently. I didn't answer that question so many times like I did before about what kind of business I wanted or what kind of career I wanted. I just was like super basic and kind of selfish in like, what kind of life did I want?
Yeah.
And so I think that was the first time I was focusing on that intuition, focusing on that inner psychic to say, what's valuable to me? What is important to me? And I'm just going to put this down and into the universe and then let it sit. And so I can't remember everything on the list, but there were some really specific things that one was like, I don't want to have to meet clients in person. The other one was, I want to take a summer vacation out of Arizona, where we live, and it's like so hot
Summer
here.
cooler.
Yeah. The other was like, I want to buy a cool Tesla. Like these were so simple, but it was truth. I was just being truthful at the time.
Yeah.
There was no solving world hunger. There was no inner peace. There was no confidence. It was just like real, actual things. And so then that got put aside. And really in the year after that, I was still searching. What am I going to do? I was consulting. I was helping people. I was doing these things. And eventually the idea of Design Pickle came about because I was consulting with so many clients in kind of like a marketing consultant role that I would often be unavailable for clients when I was working with one. And the day-to-day of design, I was never stopping. Hey, I need this. Hey, I need you to design this. Hey, I need this. So I set up sort of an inbox automation system with some off-the-shelf tools and a couple contractors to facilitate. So if you and I are meeting and I'm working for you and, Johnny over at whatever company needs something, he could just request into this. It'd get mostly done. And then the process for me was at night, I would review it and I would like send it off. Well, one day my creative or my designer just like sent it to the client and I got kind of pissed at first because I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, Russ, it was a business card. Like there's no approval needed. Like, trust me, I got this one right. Yeah. And that was when a light bulb moment came, was to say, okay, well, that worked great. My client said, thank you. I was really happy about this not being involved creative thing. And then I got out my list. And I said, well, what if I had just did this? And what if I could do subscription? And what if I can make it really easy for people to get the basics of design done? And I looked at that list and I was like, do I have to meet clients? No. Could I make enough money to go on this vacation? Yes. Another item was like, stay in the lane of what I know, which is creativity and marketing. Like I didn't want to learn a new career. Cool. It's in that lane. And so that was when the two things kind of matched up, and it gave me that inner confidence and that drive to say, look, I came up with this almost a year prior, and now here's an opportunity for me to go after that lines up with that vision of who I want to be and the life I want to have. Amazing.
Yeah. Can I ask where the name pickle came in?
Well, I like fermented foods in general.
Okay. Yeah.
A lot of people don't. It's kind of a thing in our company. We always tell people like, look, you don't have to like pickles. We could still hire you.
Right.
But we do judge them. So it's because I had such a horrible name for my last agency. Okay. It was a mouthful of consonants. It was NSB/Keane, Keane. So I did
that was the name of your company?
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. So a lot of phone conversations, a lot of sales, and I'd be like, what's your company? NSB King, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a slash in there, punctuation. Don't forget the punctuation. So I was committed just literally to have a cool name that anyone could remember. Yeah. The domain was available. Design sauerkraut is hard to spell. And so I
pickle. I feel like everyone can spell pickle.
Actually, fun fact, up until 2 months ago, I owned pickle.com.
You did.
A whole nother story we don't have time for.
I feel like that is a whole different avenue of people.
Just sold it to, flipped the domain for a almost 7-figure sum.
Wow.
And so I'm also a successful domain investor when it comes to pickle domains.
That's crazy. I bet there are people who wanted that one for sure.
It ended up going, you can go to it now, pickle.com. It's like an AI video conferencing company that bought it. Yeah. I never would have thought.
I thought it would be like a pickle company, like a huge pickle
company. For sure, yeah.
So everyone knows that we use strategy to grow business and we look at numbers, but what are some other things that you do to really, or have done to grow your business to the level of success that it has been? Do you do visualizations, manifestation, any of those type of things?
Well, I have quite a deep system. I think one of the foundational building blocks of it is 2 parts. It's energy and time. And I think that is something that I've been above average in being able to identify and manage really, really well. But also because I haven't managed it well at times. Yes. And so when I think about like, when am I at my highest self? When am I in my full power? It really is when I'm focusing my energy on the things that I love to do. Like being here today. I love to be sharing. I love to be talking. It gives me energy. So these are going to be things that I make time for. And so I always do I'd say every 3 or 4 months, a calendar audit on how my time is being spent. And the bones of that is a system called time blocking. So it's really about every, part of your day has a calendar block for what you intend to do, whether it's working out, whether it's meetings, whether it's creation, whether it's family time. And if you look at my calendar, I look like a maniac because it's like I have 100 meetings, quote unquote. But really, it's about like, hey, in the mornings I'm going to focus on this, in the afternoons I'm going to focus on this. And so this is always evolving. That system changes almost like clockwork about every 90 days, and I know when it needs to change when I'm feeling exhausted, when I'm feeling unmotivated, and it's because my energy and my time is off. What I need to be focusing on now is not what I was needing to focus on then. So like last year, I had a lot more people reporting to me. I was in the weeds a lot more. I was doing a lot of stuff. Then we made some great hires, brought on some new leaders. And I realized, over the last 90 days, I need to now start being out of those day-to-day meetings, less one-on-ones, more trust, and more in a seat of creation, marketing, PR, things like that. So I think for me, it's like when I am not feeling in tune with the voice, with my own intuition of what I need to do, it's because my energy is going to places that it shouldn't, or at least aren't as ideal for me. And to fix that, it's all about calendaring, really simple.
Yeah. And really honoring what it is that you want. And I think that's really hard for entrepreneurs. I know I was having a conversation with somebody this morning. I actually took off the entire month of June, which I've never done.
Oh, wow.
Because I own multiple companies and I just felt so burnt out from running both of these companies. And I think that's a really powerful thing to do, is to be able to hear that inner voice, to be able to decide what it is that you really need.
And I'm like half spiritual, half science, know, and I've my news feed is about fusion technology, and I've done ayahuasca. So it's like this weird balance of life. But I like, for me, thinking about our calendar and the way we use time to really help navigate that alignment of what it is that is our highest best self.
Yeah.
And as a leader, I think it's really challenging because we're generally good at a lot of things, maybe great at some, and we have the drive and the passion that even if we're not good at it, we'll figure it out. We'll put in the effort.
Yes.
So I found that when I have to take a step back, looking at time as the sort of structure of energy makes it really practical and easy versus sitting in a room and being like, what am I inspired by? I don't know. It's like, okay, what am I doing for 3 hours in the morning? Am I going to do this or this? I want to do this.
Yeah.
And that's also, going to always be evolving.
Right. And not feeling guilty about it.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
And putting your ego aside that sometimes you're not the best person to do the things too.
Right. Yeah.
Which I've had to do many times. You know, I was joking. I'm like not allowed to log into many of our tools we use at Design Pickle because I'd get in and send messages, do this is because I'm not the best. So I have people and I built a team around myself to keep in that space.
I love that. I love that. Honoring yourself, working in alignment and creating your dreams.
Totally.
Yeah, I think that's great. Thank you so much for being on the show with me today
Absolutely.
and sharing this. I'd love for you to let the audience know where they can find you. And I'll tell you what, this intrigues me, this idea that I can just send something off, people create it, get it back. So I'd love for you to share with the audience how they can find you. Yeah,
well, 2 places I always like to send people. First is if you have a consistent need for creative support, designpickle.com is the way to go. One plan, all creative services, killer platform. We really love working with businesses who are creating every day, every week, every month. And then for me personally, I have a Substack that I send people to. So russperry.substack.com. I have a list. I publish articles, essays, coaching, training, webinars, things like that are all about this and more on how I've created my life, my business, random creations that I pulled together every now and again. And yeah, we have a really good community there of people who I like to communicate with a couple times a month.
Thank you so much for being on the show and sharing this with everybody. I think it's really important. You guys, you being psychic or using your intuition, using your energetic doesn't have to be super woo-woo like the woo-woo that we do at times. And I do think it is absolutely the key to success is having this amazing balance and really coming into alignment with yourself. So I will see you guys next time on The Psychic Within.